The Prime Minister has lost his right-hand man. His Chief of Staff, Morgan McSweeney, quit this afternoon. It comes as Downing Street tries to stem pressure on the PM in the wake of the Peter Mandelson scandal. He was sacked as US ambassador over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. And today the blame for his appointment was shouldered by Mr McSweeney. The Conservatives, though, insist Sir Keir Starmer himself should own the decision. Our political correspondent Shihab Khan has the latest.
He has been at the heart of power in Number 10 as the Prime Minister's closest political ally. But as pressure has mounted on Sir Keir Starmer over the appointment of Peter Mandelson as US ambassador, it is Morgan McSweeney who has now quit. In a statement today, he said, "After careful reflection, I have decided to resign from the government. The decision to appoint Peter Mandelson was wrong. He has damaged our party, our country, and trust in politics itself. When asked, I advised the Prime Minister to make that appointment, and I take full responsibility for that advice." McSweeney has often been described as the architect of the Starmer project, and this evening Sir Keir thanked his lieutenant for what he called his dedication, loyalty and leadership, and said he personally owes him a debt of gratitude. It was during the Jeremy Corbyn years, while McSweeney led the think tank Labour Together, that he identified Sir Keir Starmer as a potential leader, someone to take on the left of the party. And by his side, he guided him to the top of the Labour Party and then into Number 10. His stock was so high that as recently as this morning, Cabinet Ministers still wanted him to stay.
I see absolutely no point in getting rid of staff members or the Chief of Staff over this. So I think Morgan McSweeney is also doing a good job and should continue in his role.
ITV News has contacted all the MPs who have questioned the Prime Minister's own position over the last few days, and none were available for interview. But the Tories say it was about time for this resignation and that Keir Starmer himself has to take responsibility. This is not McSweeney's first experience of controversy. His time as Chief of Staff has been marked by growing unrest on the Labour benches over the government's repeated U-turns. There were also accusations he was behind anonymous briefings against cabinet ministers. But the question now is, will this relieve pressure on the Prime Minister?
It is impossible to overstate the importance of Morgan in this government. So it will be a huge loss for the Prime Minister. And I think ultimately it makes his chances of weathering this storm slimmer.
Morgan McSweeney might be gone, but now all attention will turn to the Prime Minister and how he governs without his right-hand man. Shihab Khan, ITV News, Westminster.
Well, our political editor, Robert Peston, is here. So, Robert, still no word from Peter Mandelson on this weekend, but a lot of words on who should take responsibility for this. Morgan McSweeney has done that. Is that enough to save Starmer?
Well, I've been talking to lots of Labour MPs and ministers tonight. The ministers on the payroll, as you would imagine, trying to put a brave face on it, saying things to me like, you know, the country doesn't want a new Prime Minister. But when you talk to backbench MPs, they are at their wits' end. And I haven't today found a single one who believes that Keir Starmer will lead their party into the next election. And therefore, for them, it's a question of when Keir Starmer goes, not if. In one sense, Keir Starmer is quite lucky that there's no single candidate in pole position to take over from him. As you know, the Mayor of Manchester wanted to re-enter the House of Commons through a by-election. Starmer blocked that, so Andy Burnham can't be a candidate. The former Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, would be a candidate if, that is, she didn't have this investigation into her tax affairs that's being carried out by HMRC, so she needs the tax office to give her a verdict on, as I say, the tax problems she's got. And then the problem for Wes Streeting, who many MPs think is the leading candidate, is he is very famously very close, or was very close to Peter Mandelson. In fact, many people regarded Wes Streeting as Mandelson's long-term protege. So somehow McSweeney has to clear the air there about his relationship with Mandelson before he can become a candidate. The Prime Minister, I understand, is going to make a statement again about all of this tomorrow, but this is going to be the most challenging, the most threatening for him week of his prime ministerial career.
OK, Robert, I think we're going to see you again at 10, aren't we? See you then. Thanks. OK, meanwhile, more emails have emerged from the Epstein files relating to the then Prince Andrew. They appear to show he invited Jeffrey Epstein and a Romanian woman described as very cute to Buckingham Palace. Andrew has always denied any wrongdoing. Our reporter Ellie Pitt is outside Buckingham Palace for us this evening. Ellie, can you take us through this?
So Yasmin, in messages from September 2010, 2 years after Jeffrey Epstein was jailed for a sexual offence involving a minor in America, the then Prince Andrew invited him here. In the exchange, an email sent from the account with the name The Duke says, "We could have dinner at Buckingham Palace and lots of privacy." Epstein then asks for one more guest whose name has been redacted from the files to be added. "Add one more, Romanian, very cute," he says. Then the next day, Epstein tells someone, "You were perfect," and Andrew thought beautiful. Minutes later, he then emails the Duke saying, "Great fun, more later." And the Duke replies, "Yes, please!" exclamation mark. Buckingham Palace have told ITV News that they are declining to comment on this matter, and the Metropolitan Police have confirmed to us today that they are not investigating anything in connection with these emails. But this does come just as last week Thames Valley Police confirmed that they are assessing information about a woman who is said to have been brought to an address in Windsor the same year that those emails were sent for sexual purposes. Now, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has moved from Royal Lodge, his home near Windsor, to living on the King's Sandringham estate. We tried to contact him today and he has not responded, but he has always denied any wrongdoing.
Ellie, thank you.